In this episode, we're going to get off the Gold Coast, head out through the Seaway and then down to the Tweed River. We're heading south. The plan is to head all the way down, maybe even to Tassie. We'll just see how it goes. We've got to see whether things open up with COVID-19 first. Well, we don't wear skimpy bikinis. Hell, it frightens me when I take my shirt off. There's definitely no one pregnant here. This is motor sailing for old dudes. We do live on a boat and we do cruise extensively along the Australian coast. Join us and visit some great destinations. Learn how to look after a boat and live off grid. It might even get you enthused to do the same thing. Hey, stay out there till you can't. Well, it's early, but there's wind coming about 7 o'clock, they reckon. It's just starting to get up now, and I thought it was a good idea to get away from the pontoon there before it all happened. So we're going to get wind for about a week, and I'm going to head down to Paradise Point. That'll give me some good shelter, and I'll just have to wait it out there. Well, the good thing about Paradise Point is there's lots of great walking paths like this, and they're all pretty flat too, so it's great. That way, and you're at the little village of Paradise Point. Head the other way, which I'm heading now. There's a nice coffee shop on the Tweed River, so we're going to go around there and have a cup of coffee. A lot of development here at the moment. For a lazy $1 million, you can buy a block of land and build a 3-storey home that gives you views over the Broadwater. Fantastic. This is a great spot for coffee at Paradise Point. It's around on the Tweed River. It's not much of a walk from where I've got the boat, and the coffee's good. Bit of cherry slice as well, and the ambience is fantastic. So we'll have a cup of coffee here and then I'm going to head into Paradise Point, go to the chemist. I'll show you around in there. Plenty of shops here. There's a good butcher, there's a chemist, and there's an IGA as well, even an organic store here, so plenty of places to resupply. Along the front of the shops, it's all places to eat. Lots of cafes and restaurants. We've been at Paradise Point a couple of days and it's been good here. We've been out of the wind, which is great because it really has been blowing. But it's time to leave. I'm going to up anchor now and we're heading down to Wavebreak Island. Not very far, probably an hour and a half. But that's a good start-off point for the trip down to the Tweed tomorrow. It looks pretty good for doing the Tweed bar tomorrow morning. So we'll get down to Wavebreak. That gives us good access to the Seaway bar. And we'll shoot out in the morning and a bit of time at sea. Hey! Okay. I hope you're all ready to go. We're heading south. Well, it was a bit busy in Wavebreak Island, not too many spots there, so I just headed down towards the spit and I'll find somewhere off the spit to drop the pick. I don't want to be in amongst a lot of boats this afternoon, and this will give us pretty easy access out to the Seaway. I'm just looking out of the Seaway now and it looks pretty good out there. There's not much swell on, so all should be good for tomorrow. Well, this should do us for tonight. There's the Seaway just out here. Okay, so we just anchored here and there's the Seaway, that's where we've got to go in the morning. So no boats around. The only rough water I'll get here is from passing boats from Wash, but yeah, it's pretty sheltered, and if it goes around to the north it'll be pretty good. So we'll hang here for the night and get going early in the morning. Well, nearly the end of another day. I've done my pre-start checks on the engine. I've been down the engine room, checked all my fluid levels and everything's right down there, so that's good. The weather report, I just had a look at the weather for tomorrow again. It's looking alright, so we're going to get up at daylight tomorrow and shonk out across the bar here and head to the Tweed. It's going to be good to be out at sea again. It's I like just doing this on the boat too, just being out in the water, but it really is nice when you get out and get some ocean miles under your hulls. looking forward to getting south now, I really am. So I've made the decision to get down as far as I can, so we'll just see how we go. Anyway, rumbo time, a few cheese and bickies and gherkin, very special. And yeah, we'll get out and get on it tomorrow. It's always a good sign when you see the trawler boys going out, because you know, they usually get the weather pretty right. So 2 trawlers gone out this afternoon. Looks like it's going to be a good night out there, and it should be a good day in the morning, so I'll get on it pretty early. Well, it's a great looking night for a barbie, so that's what we're having. A few potato chips, some snags and a chop, I think, and a bit of salad. Beautiful. I'll have an early dinner while it's still light, and I might do a little bit of mucking around, but I'll probably head off pretty early to bed, so I'm going to have an early start in the morning. I'll get away pretty early. I'm looking at all the trawlers going out now, and I'm thinking, geez, it's going to be really nice out there tonight, and I'm sort of thinking a bit about going tonight. I get down there and get across the bar all right, it's all well lit and everything, but just mucking around in the dark finder and somewhere to anchor can sometimes be a problem, so I think I'll leave it in the morning. I think it's going to be all right in the morning as long as I leave early. So we'll get going at daybreak, and it should be fun. Be good to be back out at sea again. We'll get some food getting cooked up first though. Get a chop on. I got these chops at the Paradise Point Butcher yesterday. They're beautiful, but I got 3 of them, one too many, so I've got another one for tonight. Couple of snags. I probably won't eat both of them, but we'll have one cold somewhere. Plastic in my recycling bag. Even get to wash up out here. Beautiful on nights like this. Dinner's done and dusted. Settling for the night. Last sunset on the Gold Coast for a fair while, I reckon. Won't miss it too much. It's 4:15. Have some brekkie and then we're off. First thing I'll do is just check the weather. Make sure that hasn't changed yet.
Securite, Securite, all stations, all stations, all stations. This is VMR 414, Seaway Tower, Southport. Here is a strong wind warning for Queensland and a gale warning for New South Wales. The warning is for small craft in coastal waters from Double Island Point to Woolai in New South Wales. This was issued by the Bureau.
We're leaving the Gold Coast, heading for Tweed Heads. It's only a short trip, about 2 hours down there, 2.5 hours. I want to get down there this morning because they just posted a gale warning for the New South Wales coast. So once we get down there, we're going to have to anchor up and wait for it again. We've got about 1,000 nautical miles to go if we're going to go down to the bottom of Tassie. So it's a pretty long trip, but we'll do it in little jumps. Tweed will be the first one, and we'll wait there for a bit more of the weather like we've got to head further south. It is good to be out at sea again. A little bit of swell out here, and the wind is from behind. I could get the sail out, I'm thinking about it, but it's a little bit close to being right on our stern, so I think I might leave it furled for this trip, but we'll see how we go. Of course, once I jump across the border down here, I can't come back into Queensland because the border's closed. If I come back up here, I'm going to have to go into quarantine for 2 weeks, hotel quarantine that is, at a cost of about $3,000. So hopefully the border's open while I'm down in New South Wales and down in Victoria. Hopefully the COVID thing goes away and we can travel a bit more freely up and down the coast. But at the moment, once I get across the border down here into Tweed Heads, I can't come back into Queensland without going into quarantine. So it's something to think about, but if you're going to travel, you're going to travel. Well, we're just coming up to Point Danger now, and I'm just preparing to cross the bar. This is the first bar we're going to cross as we head down the New South Wales coast. Some things to remember: don't cross these bars if the tide is running out. Make sure you always cross them on an incoming tide. That's whether you're going in or out. Make sure the tide's flooding, and the best time is the last 2 hours of the flood tide. I'm a little bit early here this morning, probably halfway through the flood, but that'll be okay. I'll get a bar report when I get down. You can look at bar cams as well, and always wear a life jacket when you're crossing river bars. Actually, it's a legal requirement to do so when you're in New South Wales, so make sure you get a life jacket on when you cross. But we're going to have a look at it. Always stand off and have a look at the bar, see what it's doing, and if it looks ordinary, don't cross. This old boat goes pretty well on the front of the wave. We can only do 5 or 6 knots as we're heading in, so the waves are going to catch us, and what you're worried about is broaching, and that's where the wave picks you up and surfs you down the front of it, and some boats will bury the shoulder and turn side onto the waves, and that's a nasty feeling and a nasty position to be in. That's when you can lose your boat. But the catamarans tend to surf in pretty well and stay straight with the waves without broaching. Anyhow, we'll have a look at the bar up here. We'll log on with Point Danger Marine Rescue, and they can tell us what the bar conditions are like, but I think it should be all right this morning. Strong wind warning out now, gale warning out actually, so probably was a good option to run up here this morning and get in to the Tweed River. We'll have to hang in there for a little while and ride out this wild weather. Anyhow, we'll get prepared to cross the Tweed Bar. I'll film it as we head in. Okay, I'm not far off the bar now, and I've been watching it for the last 5 or 10 minutes. And there doesn't seem to be anything standing up on it, which is good. So I reckon it's going to be pretty safe to cross. Okay, just putting the life jacket on, and across the bar, I won't do much of a commentary on it because I'll be a bit busy, but I'll film it on the way in. Now the conditions, we had a really calm day yesterday and it was calm all night. It's blowing, I just checked the weather, it's blowing from 14 to 21 from the northwest at the moment, so that'll give you a bit of an idea what the conditions are like out here, and you'll be able to see what the conditions are like on the bar as we go in. And we just line it up, and you come in from the north on the Tweed bar a bit, and then sort of hook around the corner. We're going to start off over near the southern break wall and then make our way across the river once we get in. From here we'll just make ourselves slowly across to the northern seawall, and then we can pick up the lateral marks heading up the river. You can get into anything under about 8. Don't let them fool you though, they can be dangerous places, so be very aware. Do them in good weather and you shouldn't have any trouble. We're in New South Wales now, and I can't go back to Queensland. The border's closed to me, so I've got to stay here until it reopens. Nice little bit of tide from behind. We're doing about 7.5 knots now, so be aware of that when you get into the river. Once you get into the river, you can turn to starboard up here around this next green lateral, and that'll take you down to Tweed Heads proper. I'm going to go straight up the river and anchor up off Fingal Head. There's a good little spot up there, but all the shops and everything are around on the starboard side, so that's where you'd go if you wanted all of those facilities. A little bit hard to anchor there, there's a lot of moorings, but you'd have to get some sort of mooring, and the marina there doesn't usually have many spots. There is a marina at the Tweed as well. Well, the anchor ball's up so everyone knows I'm anchored, and I just struck the 4X flag because I'm in New South Wales now and they lost at the State of Origin last night, so I don't want to rub it in their faces. Well, it was a pretty straightforward crossing of the Tweed bar. Got the anchor down off Fingal Head, it's my favourite spot up here, and I'm just going to relax now. I'm going to make a cup of tea in a minute and sit back and relax. Always a little bit anxious crossing bars, you never know what they're going to throw at you, so you know, you're always on your toes a bit, but that was a pretty easy one. And there's going to be a lot of wind for the next couple of days, so we won't be moving from here. Got plenty of anchor chain out and I'll just have to watch it.